This video made possible by Buy Mobile. Hey everyone, welcome back to Howtechs. Today we have a Samsung Galaxy S10 and we're going to do an unboxing. So this is the S10, not the S10 Plus, not the S10 5G, just the normal one. So let's take a look at the box. Of course this one's already been opened, so it's not really an unboxing. But let's take a look at the stats here. This is a 128 gigabyte version. As we mentioned, it's the smaller one, so it's a 6.1 inch display, and that's actually 6.0 if you don't count the rounded corners. The S10 Plus is 6.4, and the S10 5G I think is up to 6.7, so this is definitely a lot smaller. It's close to size as an iPhone 10 or 10s, depending on which one you want to look at. It has actually 3 cameras on the back, including a 12 megapixel regular camera, a 12 megapixel telephoto, or basically like double zoom, and then it has a 16 megapixel ultra wide one. So that's basically your wide angle lens. And then on the front facing, because this is the S10, it only has 1 camera, whereas the S10 Plus actually has 2. And yeah, it can do some depth perception as well. And it has the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, which is actually like in the glass. So there's no separate fingerprint sensor. You just touch the screen down in the bottom center. As mentioned, 128 gigabytes. 8 gigabytes of RAM on the processor. This one should be the Snapdragon 855, I believe, although they have another version with a different processor. And it has AKG earphones, which we'll take a look at as we open it. So anyway, enough talking. Let's open this guy up. So here we are, very attractive phone. You can already see where the selfie cam is here. That's actually in the display. Let's take a look at the edges here. So this should be volume up and down, and this should be the Bixby button. So, you know, basically like Siri. And here on the back, you can see this has already been taken off. So let's peel this guy off. So here's our 3 cameras. Don't ask me which one is which. Samsung logo, nice glass on the back. We have a USB-C connector here, as well as a headphone jack. Yes, they still have headphone jacks on these phones. This should be the microphone and also the speaker grill. And on the top we have the SIM card slot is right here, as you can see, I think. And then that should be for noise cancellation, if I had to guess. And or perhaps the speaker for the earpiece. And here should be our on and off button, or basically screen activation button. So that's basically it for the exterior. Let's take a look at the rest of the box. We forgot to do that. So as we are in Hong Kong, and this is a Malaysia version, this is the British style plug. And this is, you know, can do fast charging, so it can do up to 9 volts at 1.67 amps, or 5 volts at 2 amps, so that's basically 10 watts. So yeah, should be good enough for some fast charging. Here underneath we have USB-C to USB, in case you don't happen to have a USB-C plug and you need to have an adapter. And we have our USB cable here, of course. And last but not least, we have our AKG earbuds, as you can see, with our headphone jack. There we are. So your standard 3-band headphone jack, which includes, of course, the hands-free microphone for mobile use. Okay, so let's power on the phone. Here we are. So we actually dropped this one on the wireless charger a few minutes just to make sure that it wasn't dead. And here we go. So as this thing powers up, you should see the quote-unquote punch hole. Instead of having a notch like an iPhone, it has a punch hole. And here we are. So very crafty. They used a black corner here so that you can't see the notch when you first turn it on. Here we go. Again, another wallpaper that covers that up. They learned their trick from Apple to make sure. So as you can see, the display looks really good. Of course it will, because it's the AMOLED, so you have nice dark darks and nice bright colorful light colors. So let's just open up an app. And so you can see actually even when an app is open, there's like a dark toolbar here at the top, which kind of hides the fact that there's that hole punch up there. So there you go. Now you can see the quote-unquote hole punch really clearly. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the camera right here on the bottom. So it's pretty standard. You can zoom in and out. You can take photos. So beyond photos, of course, you can take video, and not just video. You can do slow motion, super slow motion. You can do 4K. This thing can do up to 960 frames per second. at 720 resolution on the main camera. It can do 4K at 60 Hertz on the main camera. Here's our normal lens. Here's our zoom lens, that's 2x, and then here's our ultra wide. So you can see something a range of about like this much, give or take. And of course you can switch while you're filming as well. Great. Okay, so that's basically it for a quick unboxing and walkthrough of the basics on the Galaxy S10. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and definitely check out all our how-to videos for this phone. See you guys next time. Bye. This video made possible by buymobile.com.au. SIM card is here on the bottom right, and there's also a very small notch here on the bottom right as well. You guys can see that. There's also